Happy birthday to me, and happy graduation to you. I know a lot of people have graduated the past couple of days, and I'm really excited. It's my birthday. I'm super excited. This is, of course, pre-recorded. I'm going to be out and about with Skittin today, or technically in like a day or two. We have other things to do now instead of just celebrate moi, but if we could just celebrate me, I would fucking love it. So yeah, let's get into it, guys. 7 weird fighting games that we swear we're not making up. Hey, listen, I don't really play fighting games that much. I've only played Tekken, really. They're really fucking hard to play, and you know I have really bad eyesight, so after I'm on the computer all day, it's actually hard for me to like sit down and enjoy playing a game, like a fighting game that takes a lot of like concentration and stuff, but I love it. It's rage-inducing, but it's beautiful.
Games are a bit weird when you think about it. Like, who decided that fighting on a space elevator was a good idea? And what kind of fighting tournament lets a bear compete?
The Tekken tournament,
Something tells me they didn't have much of a choice. Regardless, though regular fighting games may be on the strange side, they're nothing compared to these 7 beat-em-ups, which broke our brains harder than Baraka's new fatality in Mortal Kombat 11. Not pictured.
Arm Joe. Yo, you got hands, though.
If you've ever seen the musical Les Miserables, you will have thought to yourself one of 2 things. Either, wow, this is an incredible portrayal of the struggles people went through in revolutionary France, or, wow, this would make an incredible one-on-one fighting game. If you're in the latter camp, then good news! Such a game exists in the form of independently produced fighting game Arm Joe, which pits characters from Les Mis against each other in bare-knuckle brawling action. All your favourites are here. Jean Valjean, Eponine, Javert, Cosette's stuffed animal, who is apparently called Pon Pon, and a robot version of Jean.
That's fucking cool!
Maybe he's from the original Victor Hugo novel. Arm Joe is actually a solid fighting game with some interesting mechanics and lots of clever references to the source material. There's Marius's Ultra Combo, for example, which references his slaughtered revolutionary pals, as described in the song Empty Chairs at Empty Tables, one of the most maudlin numbers in the musical, which is saying something.
He like literally summoned all his dead homies. If you haven't
already seen Les Miserables, to be disappointed if you ever do go, expecting a scene where Marius hits a crushing 15-hit super combo on Enjolras.
Yo, he is dominating his ass.
Because there isn't one. Come on, Victor Hugo, you're letting the side down.
We've seen this one. It's been on the compilation before. He beheaded that bitch immediately.
Time Killers is a 1992 arcade fighter in which combatants from various points throughout history must do battle with one another and then death itself for a chance at immortality. It's basically entertainment TV show Deadliest Warrior, only with slightly fewer scenes of someone machine gunning a pig carcass.
Right. No, the caveman got fucked up.
The characters include cavemen, Vikings, knights and samurai, as well as futuristic mutants and aliens, and some bloke with a chainsaw. Shout out to the 21st century.
I just got it.
Perfect.
What makes Time Killers really weird, though, is the fact that you can dismember your opponents and the fight will keep going.
Oh, God!
Do enough damage to an enemy arm and it'll come off, rendering it useless in combat, which is a pretty big disadvantage if that was the hand holding their weapon. You can cut off the other arm as well, leaving your opponent with no option but to try and kick you to death, like the Black Knight from Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
I'm pretty sure you've seen this video before, actually.
You've got to admire their guts. I mean, it's hard not to, they're all over the floor.
Move or I'm smashing through! Okay, everyone here? Then let's get to work.
So they're construction workers?
I've never had a job as a heavy machinery operator on a construction site, but I'm pretty sure that at least one of the rules regarding their operation says you're not allowed to use them to batter other construction workers. Yet that's exactly the premise of BCB Battle Construction Vehicles, an early 2000s fighting game for the PS2, which imagines building sites as hotbeds of vehicular combat and weirdly British smack talk.
Oh, God!
You're tough, Gramps!
Listen to me. You must succeed your father. I beg you, young master.
Shut it, Gramps!
While the build-ups were dramatic, fights in practice mostly involved you gently bonking your bulldozer against cranes and forklift trucks until they explode. That's not to say there weren't some truly baffling special attacks, because there were.
Crane sword blade.
Oh, shit! What?
them.
What the fuck is happening?
There really, really were.
Dancing needle. Dance.
Oh my god, like I kind of want to
I
play
see now why you're
this.
not allowed to go on building sites. Giant wasps.
Yo, is he fighting a car? Alright.
Dongdong Never Die is a frankly incredible fighting game released for free online in 2009 by a group of Chinese fighting game fans. Made in the do-it-yourself program 2D Fighter Maker, Dongdong Never Die uses digitized versions of the game's creators to create a fighting game that is a cross between Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, and the line to get into an anime convention.
This
Fighters
is
include a guy in a
great.
monkey mask with the spray can.
Yo, he's slapping the
These
shit
two,
out
who
this
are
dude.
anyone's guess. And Mario.
That's not legal.
Starting to see
can't
why this
do
didn't get a
that.
commercial release. Despite its spectacular weirdness, DDND is a lovingly crafted homage to a genre its creators obviously adore, and the game's sense of style can't be denied. Which is more than can be said for the fighters themselves. Honestly having a hard time deciding which of these hats is worse.
I played this. I loved this game. The fucking balls spears. I played this. Me and my dad
If you're
used to
sick of
kick
fighting
my
games
ass at
having
this game.
identifiable characters that you like, do I have just the game for you?
I
That's a
love
rhetorical
this
question.
game.
The answer is yes. I do have that. Balls, released in 1994 for the Sega Mega Drive and Super Nintendo, featured various collections of spheres battering the hell out of each other for the chance to face and defeat final boss, the Jester.
And I never beat the
Known for his
Jester.
famous quote, balls, 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 balls. Or was that Shakespeare? Ah, no, the Jester. Other characters included a farting monkey, a ballerina, and a sumo wrestler, but to be honest, you could tell me these fighters are literally anything you like because everyone just looks like a loosely connected cloud of various coloured balls.
Bro, the fucking monkey was like the hardest dude to beat ever in this fucking game. For real. It was impossible to kill that fucking guy.
And every fight looks a bit like a school science video about the structure of DNA.
It was fun. Balls
It
was
also
fun.
included maybe the
Play with balls.
worst
Do
theme
it.
song in the history of video games.
This brings back so many memories. I'm loving this.
Honestly, balls to this.
Oh, come on. You're gonna shit on balls and you're gonna show us this? What the fuck is this even?
Chowaniki Bakuretsu Rantohen is a 1995 Japan-only fighting game for the Super Nintendo in which a selection of utterly bonkers characters knock each other silly in various weird locations. Characters include Adon, a flying bodybuilder, Sabu, who is somehow half ship, half pagoda, and half Elvis Presley, and Mammy 19, who is a girl who is also a battleship upon which 3 tiny naked men are having a party.
Huh. Alright.
I'm doing my best to try and explain Chowaniki here using stupid human words, but honestly, it's easier to just show you.
The bodybuilder's doing work.
See what I'm talking about? Because I'm not entirely sure I do.
The guys in the background are fucking hilarious. There's a Star Wars, like, fighting game like this?
Think of all your favourite moments in Star Wars. Now, how many of them are one-on-one fistfights? If you
None!
answered obviously 0, then congratulations, you're better at Star Wars than the developers of Star Wars Masters of Tarrasque, a one-on-one fighting game released for the original PlayStation.
Knockout. You win.
The Tarrasque of the title is a martial art made up for this game. Tarrasque, as far as I can tell, just involves wailing on your opponent with whatever you have lying around, including lightsabers, blasters, and thermal detonators. Jeez.
You win.
Knockout.
Nice one, Leia. According to the plot of the game, Masters of Tarrasque takes place between A New Hope and Empire, and is genuinely about the Emperor being so mad about the destruction of the Death Star that he sends someone good at space karate to go and beat up Luke Skywalker and his mates.
Dead.
You win.
You are a hit fighter.
No official word on whether this is still Star Wars canon after the expanded universe reshuffle, but I'm going to go ahead and say yes, all this definitely happened.
Okay, come on. Princess Leia beat the shit out of Han Solo by bringing him out. That's fucking great. Some of these we definitely got balls that definitely need to find. Play with balls. Peace.